It's called The World's Greatest Poets. Amongst the shisha-smoking, camel-riding women of the Sahara live the world's greatest poets. Their lives shape in sand, not in ink. Language grows in sound and can weather a storm. In the red desert morning, these women milk lyrics from the unwilling udders of goats. Poems are whispered in the pouring of breakfast tea. The soft kisses of their sons and daughters dissolve into verse. These women feel the caress of a sonnet as they make love to their elderly husbands who hold their wife's smooth bodies like romance novels they cannot read. They silence their children so that gazelles may slip into the kitchen undisturbed. So they rise with the bread, curdle with the milk, barefooted, dance. Poems are called in on the dusk, then are carried by the wind to the next valley, where another woman catches the words on an open door, welcomes them into her home. We might come back to Egypt in a bit. I thought I'd do Nicaragua just because Nicaragua tends to be quite fun and quite sort of like, I don't know, Nicaragua for me is a country that's quite funny. And this is a poem I just enjoyed to perform. It's called The Ex-Revolutionary. And I should say it's about a friend of mine, but then I kind of created a storyline around it. So it's for my friend Don Silvio. Who wouldn't say yes to drive the president's Mercedes north from Managua, yes. South from Managua, yes. A smooth drive. If he didn't snore in the back seat, it might seem yours, this Mercedes. Maybe yes, maybe no. You have seen the whole country, the rough back roads, the stretch of new carretera. In each new town, you have a different mujer, exotic or plain, gorda or guapa. She offers you her local ways. Yes. In Hinotega, she is hollow, a black clay jug. In Tipitapa, she bites for a ride. Dámelo! In Matagalpa, she is painted like a bow, her mouth shaped like a no. Cuando estaremos solos? When will we be alone? She wants to know. In San Juan, she sits like a hammered nail. You pour your own coffee, roll your own tortilla, wait for her to ask in her hard voice. ¿Y este presidente? All of them ask for the future, thinking yes and knowing no, and you say yes and no, meaning no. At the side of the road, the poor women cry, when will we live? And you think now, pressing too hard on your pedal. Maybe yes, maybe no. Mostly, it is waiting by your own door, the street going past 3 times, maybe 4, the kitchen going hot and cold. Your wife half turned, half folded, your child half wasted, half promised. If you were asked, what way would you have it? You would laugh like it is a game. ¿Quién sabe, verdad? Who knows, right? You would say. Another empty bottle, another real woman. I was in revolution. If God wants, I live. Yes. No. Then his call, the tossed keys already in your hand, a low laugh. Yes to everything. No to everything else. And then, mi amor, I go. Don Silva used to tell me all these stories about my love life and what I should do to improve it. So I remember he's good fun. So I'm just trying to think. Let's go to. Well, let's sort of talk about the idea of. We're going to do 2 maybe that are linked to sort of the idea of goddesses and mythology and gods. And when I was in Egypt, there was a lot this image of these ancient goddesses, ancient kings and queens. And there was this image I had of a goddess sitting on a cliff with men worshipping her, and this sort of inspired all these ideas to me, which sort of came to Came to a point when my brother decided to do gender differentiated wedding favours at his wedding. It's really annoyed me. It led to this poem which is called Goddess. It doesn't really talk about the wedding, it's just what I say. So, Goddess. She's all bird wings and thistles, all deer toes and sandbanks. She's all hanging lampshades and fairies. She's the edge of a cliff. Her visitors are all men, all myrrh and big books. She always thinks of their wives, who are not taught about grace. Boys will be boys, they say, and that sort of excuse fills up so many buckets which women collect from wells far from their homes. And where her cliff meets the ocean, 3 waves sing a song for the trapped parts of people which sing but don't sing. And women empty their buckets down into that river which fills up the ocean, so the men cannot cross. We are close, but not close enough. Wise, but not wise enough. Fool, but not fool enough. Lost, but not lost enough. Don't make me laugh, she says, as distant buckets clatter. Men pray to her toenails as she lifts her veil from one eye for no one to see. So I think I'll do another, these ones are sort of more new, but I felt I couldn't bring them to the Goddamn W Slam because they weren't that new. So I thought I would do them now. So we'll do a couple of new ones just to finish off. The first one's sort of again about kings and queens in Egypt. Maybe you've heard of King Ramses. He had a wife, or I think he had many wives, but one of his wives was this woman called Nefertari, and I like to imagine this great love story around them. So this is for them. Nefertari Merimut, great queen of Egypt, holds in her hand only one seed, which grows a tree and apple worthy of only one king, which she picks in the morning to offer to Ramses, only one man. Ramses builds her a temple, a taste of her sweetness, long past his reign. Nefertari, who carries his heart into the afterlife. Nefertari, who rises as a bright sun. Nefertari, who knows there will only be one temple to celebrate their love. That she will never again be lady of two lands. There will be so many lifetimes until they meet again. That love takes so many centuries to ripen. When, millennia later, Ramses sees Nefertari's eyes glow over a coffee table in Paris, he feels in his mouth a sudden, extraordinary sweetness. Nefertari smiles when she sees him, picking up her cup of tea like it holds the world, a great whirlpool she can hold, and at the same time spin inside, that she can taste, and at the same time hold. She lifts the cups to her lips and waits. As Ramses falls like books from shelves, as Ramses spins like a thread on a wheel, as Ramses erodes like the bank of the Nile, until she realizes that even with centuries of sun and her small tree, a standing temple still to this day, he does not recognize her. Ramses nods, turns away, walking under galaxies which are not there, walking through stars which he cannot see, out onto the street, checking his change, holding his hand open and round, wondering where he might find an apple. Thank you. Okay, I thought I would just do one last. There's been a lot of heartbreak poems, and I thought I would emphasise because I've also got a heartbreak poem, so I thought I would join the club and just do one final one. We're not travelling anymore. We're back in Scotland. This is called Blossom. I had my heart broken 2 times in 6 months. You're like the cherry blossom wanting to bloom, but the snow just won't even let you, says my friend. Yes, I say. That is exactly how it feels. It snowed 4 times that spring, crocuses and daffodils covered with frosts. It's been a hard winter, says my father. Yes, I say. It has been cold and hard. My mother drives me through an April snowstorm to buy home furnishings in a retail park. Kindness, I tell myself. This is kindness. A single magpie crosses my path. I do not chase it away. Sorrow, I tell myself. This is sorrow. He watched the flowers cold in the ground, reported me their suffering. Gone, I tell myself. He is gone. Today, there's still no obvious spring. Still I watch the crocuses carefully, staying close to those who persist. Bright coloured buds, wide open mouthed flowers.